Hello, my name is Dana Peterson, and I'm the superintendent here at the Patricia A. Hannaford Regional Technical School District, and I'm now in my 5th year. The integration of facilities into the learning experience of students is really critical. And in order for us to provide quality learning opportunities, we need to begin with providing a safe and healthy learning environment. And that is what this whole project is about. We first began to undertake this project and its planning in my first year here at the Career Center in the spring of 2018, when the Facilities Committee began to look at a number of failing systems. And one of our members, an engineer, made a recommendation that we look at all of our systems holistically rather than trying to address things piecemeal. As a result, we put out an RFQ and EEI responded. In fact, the state of Vermont has decided to conduct a comprehensive needs assessment for all facilities statewide. We believe that we are a little bit ahead of the game because of our partnership with EEI and the groundwork that they have done to help us identify the comprehensive needs that we have to address in order to be able to maintain a very healthy and safe learning environment for our students to be successful.
Hello, my name is John Curler. I'm the head of maintenance here at the Hannaford Career Center. I'm in my 28th year here, and so I've been around the building a long time. Through my years here, we've tried to manage projects that help to increase the energy efficiency in the building. That's one of our goals here, to be efficient. And so we entered into a conversation with EEI for looking to do this project and correct some of these things.
2 years ago, the Facilities Committee for Hannaford Career Center issued an RFP for performance contracts. The goal was to both reduce energy costs in the building and upgrade some of the aging infrastructure. Through that process, which has been a 2-year study of the building during the pandemic, we learned a lot about the building and the end users. One of the things that we found is that much of the equipment and infrastructure is well past end of life. For HVAC equipment, 30 years is the anticipated useful life. 30 years marks the absolute newest equipment, which is the boilers in the boiler room in the district. Everything else is over 30 years.
In 1991, 3 boilers, oil-fed boilers, were installed, and that's been our current heating system, which the boilers are now over 25 years old, and so they're at end of life. And so we'd like to upgrade those.
Our recommendation would be to go to gas, high efficiency condensing boilers. Your current boilers have a maximum efficiency of about 82%. The new boilers will be 99% efficient and redundant.
Some of the maintenance challenges we face are when we have to service the air handlers and change the air filters. We have to put an extension ladder up to get up onto the roof, tie it off, and then we're able to access a catwalk to the air handlers to change the filters. A safer access would be much better, I think, all around, something that we access up through the building rather than having to put something up on the exterior and climb a ladder to get up there. Other areas that are a little challenging is in between the roofs, there is a air handler that we have to walk along corridor to be able to get in there to service those air filters as well. Surface we're walking on is what was the original roof before the standing seam roof was put on.
The biggest thing that we came to over and over again is the quality of the ventilation and the difficulty of servicing and getting to this equipment. It was all put in originally to be electric heat. It was then converted to gas over the years. It's more than 40 years old and is really tired and in need of replacement. To replace it, we actually have to remove sections of the metal roof and replace them and put in new high efficiency ventilation equipment, which will have energy recovery. So currently the air comes through, it's heated up by the boiler and exhausted out. The new equipment will have energy recovery features that will be 35% more efficient than your current ventilation means.
In some of the heavy labs, the industrial fabrication lab, the construction trades lab, and in the forestry and natural resources and the ART lab, Each of those have unit heaters that provide heat. However, they don't provide fresh air into the space. The original units were electric, and when those got discontinued or shut down, then that fresh air element left. In this project, we'd like to address that and put in efficient units that would also heat as well as provide fresh air into the space. And I would guess that they would be much quieter than the unit heaters that are currently being used, which make it a real challenge to teach.
And those units don't meet the current ventilation standards that are recommended by the state of Vermont.
The air handlers are now 50 years old, which is probably double their life expectancy. So they've been well maintained, but they're inefficient. They currently use a pneumatic system for opening and closing valves. And so what happens is an air compressor has to run, it pressures the line, and then the valves, depending on what the thermostat's calling for, will open and close. And so it bleeds off a little air. And so each time that happens, there's a pressure drop. And then the air compressor, after a period of time, will have to run again. And so it's an inefficient system. Also, over the years, there have been occasional leaks that are difficult to find. A slow leak on an airline up in above a ceiling or something is really challenging to find. And so what we'd like to do is to go to a full DDC system that would be electronic, which would be more reliable and much more efficient, negating the use of having an air compressor to run. The other advantage to that is that I could access the heating system remotely, either through my phone or through my computer, and I can make changes without even have to running down to the building. And it would be really nice not to have to search for leaks in the old pneumatic system. So I'd really like to get that replaced. In 2011, we did a lighting upgrade, which we had T12 fluorescents, and we changed it to T8 fluorescents, which did provide us with some energy savings. However, the changes and improvement in the LED lighting now much more surpass that and would again save us a lot more energy and taxpayer dollars.
The lighting throughout the campus is all fluorescent. A fluorescent fixture typically uses about 90 watts of electricity. It can be replaced with an LED fixture with a better light output that is about 28 watts of electricity. So there's substantial savings in every fixture that's upgraded to LED. Once these changes are made, a substantial portion of the building's electrical usage can be powered through solar power on the metal sloped roof. It's actually a very exciting opportunity to reduce the energy usage here at the campus by more than 30%, and then power a remaining percentage of it with solar PV.
The electrical system, the breakers and the switch gear are all Federal Pacific, which are a brand that is now obsolete. And there's also concerns that they won't function as they should. Might not trip because they are so old. In the main electrical room, there's an egress issue. There's less than the required 36 inches between the front of the main switchgear and the wall. It's a little bit of a hazard to be able to walk by there. You might inadvertently trip one of the breakers. And so we'd like to update that code issue with this project.
Because of the extent of the work, meeting with the facilities committee, we strongly considered not limiting the scope just to mechanical items, but also looking at replacing the asbestos that is fairly abundant in the flooring and ceiling systems.
The restrooms in our facilities don't meet ADA requirements, the means of egress out of them, a turning radius within the space. In this plan, that will be addressed. There are other doors that don't meet code that would be addressed as well. We want to make sure that we're compliant with those guidelines. Sound travels over walls and above the ceiling into the adjacent classroom. So we'd like to address that by putting a wall that goes all the way up. The ceiling tiles are well used, I'll say, and need to be replaced. That goes along with some of the asbestos work that would be done. If they're going to take ceilings down to take asbestos out, then it's just easier and cleaner to be able to replace it with new tile. In the culinary program, the grease traps, which are in the floor in there, are no longer functioning as they should, and we'd like to fix that issue. On the exterior part of the building, the wooden trim around the edge of the roof line is now deteriorated. That's been a hard thing to be able to try and maintain because of the height of the building. We'd like to replace that, and we'd like to put one sign up with just one name on it to alleviate confusion. The rendition that EEI has done with what the sign that they want to put on and the new replacement of the wood just make the outside the building look more welcoming and make it look really nice.
With the amount of ductwork, ventilation, and controls upgrade, it really is an opportune time to look at replacing these ceiling tiles, removing asbestos from campus, and really modernizing the facility. Another major finding during this process was looking at North Campus. The building was built approximately 20 years ago, and during the original construction, there was intended to be a classroom on the second level. Through some budget savings, that classroom was mostly constructed, however abandoned, and the second stairwell to access it was eliminated from the project. As part of this project, we would like to revitalize that space and build the second stairwell, and that will serve as a necessary agricultural classroom for the district.
As it stands right now, we go out to North Campus between 2 and 3 class periods a week. And during that time, because we're stationed at main campus where our classroom is, we actually take 20 minutes at least out of our 2-hour class time, or if it happens to be a plant and animal science class, that's 20 minutes out of an 83 period time frame where we're actually traveling through town to get back and forth from our farm where we're practicing with the animals in the land to the main campus where we're back in our classroom. So it's essential for us to be able to look at our North Campus building and take a peek at renovating the upper level of the classroom area so that we can not only have our classroom there, but also the food lab that we have as part of our classroom here at main campus. That would certainly enrich our students' experiences, and it would eliminate the travel time that is taking out of the opportunities for our students to be able to learn effectively and spend as much time as they can practicing what we're teaching in the classroom.
It should be important to note the process that was gone through. Our team included mechanical, electrical, engineering firms, as well as Banwell architects. We not only looked at the facility, but we met with key stakeholders, including department heads, board members, the superintendent and facility staff, to make sure that all of the major needs were looked at and thought about prior to considering any bond vote to the public. So the project proposal is a comprehensive one, which will create more education space for students in the district, modernize the ventilation, heating, and controls components, substantially reduce your energy use, and modernize the facility, which hasn't had a substantial interior renovation in more than 30 years.
When we started putting together the list of needs, it became very clear that we could put Band-Aids on items, critical infrastructure needs, or we could put a package together and really take care of it the right way. And that is what we're asking for your support to do, is to upgrade the building and get the systems operational so the Career Center can continue existing and being productive in serving our students.
So since I've been here a long time, I've really worked to keep this building maintained and make it welcoming. I really want students to be able to come into this building and get their hands dirty and to create and make things that they're proud of, and then go out into the community and be of service to the whole community and for the good of everyone. I think kids really need to be involved in these trades, and because that's what our nation is lacking right now. So I hope that you will support this project and make this just a really nice place for our community.